Hi, this is Jacqueline here with the GROW program. Thank you for growing with me on today. I was just thinking about here, my mind is on Georgia again. Georgia's on my mind. Georgia stays on my mind. Just some old evil racism, just some old oppression keeps Georgia on my mind. Thinking on Jermaine Jones, 24 years old, same age as my son. My son just turned 25. Brain dead in the custody of Richmond County, Augusta, Georgia police, who handcuffed and tased him and beat him. And now they beat him so that he's brain dead. The doctor said his brain looked like it was about to pop. Can you imagine? This is somebody's child. He had not been convicted of anything. He took off running. He running for his life. Just like Walter Scott. He was on probation. Running for his life. Hadn't been, he should not have died in the custody of the Richmond County Police Department. He was being transported to the jail. But for some reason, he's brain dead. And so we got to find out. We got to get to the bottom of this. Here go another young man. Fell by oppression. Now, I'm going to tell you something. The oppression affects us all, all different races. It's not just African. There's a lot of Africans, though. But it's not just African, with these police departments. It's all different races. Failed by oppression. But we are the people who can do it. It's time to make a change. It's time to stand up now. Genuine equality and righteousness shall flow like a mighty stream, not a stopped up drain. This man was running for his life. He didn't want to be locked up again. Maybe he didn't know it was a gun under the seat. Maybe he didn't know. But when he found, he took off running. He's scared. One thing for sure, he should not be dead. That's one thing for sure. That's one thing everybody can agree on. The police officers, the police department, police chief, he can even agree he should not be dead. Okay, since he should not be dead, then let's go ahead and get to find out who killed him. Since he shouldn't be dead, no one should die in the custody of the police department. We got some bad apples in there that's been started from a long time ago. Just like the Browns out of Louisiana, Mr. Brown, he done retired from knocking heads, and now he said his son is knocking heads. So it's the Browns versus the Browns down there in Louisiana. The KKK is deeply planted in the police department. They deeply rooted in there, and they got to be dug out. They got to be dug out of the police department. We are the ones, who can do it. It's gonna start within, honey. Look, I'm telling you, you can go down there. See, that's what they expect you to do. Go down there and march and riot and I'm telling you, because it is something to riot about. Somebody has lost their life. Somebody has died, in the custody of the police department. And this should not be so. This should not have happened. I was actually looking for something else and found this story. I was looking for these tasers, these something with these tasers. Oh, this is a new weapon now for I'm telling you something. The KKK, they ain't done nothing but traded hoods, traded uniforms, honey. Where they used to wear the white robe and the hood, now they wearing a different uniform because they always have been in the police department. They always have been judges, lawyers. They always have been doing that. They always have been in the branch of the judicial system. That's where we need to start. We need to start from the bottom, from the top to the bottom and the bottom to the top. We need to go in there and root these people out. And you know who they are. Find out who to see. They got a blue code and not a man. They made an example out of one. He stood up against, he was a police officer. He stood up against, but he got fired, and he happened to be African. He got fired. He seen some injustice and he took a stand. Well, God bless you for taking a stand, and for pointing it out. and for showing us, hey, there's a problem here. So there's a problem here too down in Augusta, Georgia, where we have a young man who's brain dead from your police officers. What did they do to him? You know, one thing we know, they handcuffed him, beat him, and tased him because he ran. You know, you don't know. You don't know what he's running from. You don't know the circumstances. He's running for his life. You can't imagine it. You don't know. You ain't never been in that. See, we're minorities. You know, we got this stacked against us. So, you know, you can't even put yourself in our shoes just to even understand what somebody may be thinking when they take out running from the police. We are the people who can do it. It's time for a change. It really is. It's time for a new world. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. It is. You know, it's time where we as a people realize that we can't fight one another. We can't fight each other. We have to work together, you know, for the common good, for tomorrow, today. We have to reach greatness. We have to strive to reach greatness. And as we strive to reach greatness, we are going to shed light where it needs to be shed. You know, so we need to shed some light down in Augusta, Georgia. It's a problem down there in Georgia. Georgia stays on my mind. You know, I'm always thinking about Georgia. It's time. It's time to make a change. One problem that we have, mass incarceration. We have a shortage in the jail, and they're in there policing themselves, basically. They're in the jail policing themselves. Honey, it's a sad day and time that we still living in, you know. But I'm telling you something, we are overcoming. We are overcoming. And as the glory continues to come, it will be ours, because faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And I know it's coming. It's coming just as sure as I'm sitting here talking to you and you listening, you know, hearing the word of God, you know, hearing the word of God. God is love. Spread love and sow love each and every day. Okay. We're growing for a better way. We're growing for a better way in God each and every day. And as we growing, the oppression is all around us. It's all around us. It's everywhere. You know, you step out the door, you know, you run into oppression is everywhere. You know, but what we're going to do, we're going to allow God to use us. We're going to allow God to take over. And at the same time, shedding light where it needs to be shed. I was looking up a certain article and ran across what happened with Jermaine Jones. And I couldn't even finish the article. I was shocked to tears just reading what happened to him. And we haven't even found out the real truth. You know, we haven't even got to the bottom of what really happened. But just to read what has happened to him, and he's in the hospital and he's not going to recover, you know, and it shocked me to tears. It is very sad. The police department in Augusta, Georgia, you have blood on your hands. You have blood on your hands. Police department in Richmond County, Augusta, Georgia, you carry the blood of Jermaine Jones and many others on your hands. It's time for you to turn around and look at you. You look at the man in the mirror, the woman in the mirror. Look at you, and then turn around, because I'm telling you, we are here for each other. Turn around. If you see wrong, you need to speak up about wrong. Wrong is wrong. So you go in the police department for what? What did you become a police officer for? Why did you choose to be a police officer? What, so you can knock heads? You know, what did you choose to be a police officer for? Did you go to be a police officer for justice, for genuine equality and righteousness? Or did you go to knock heads like the brown people doing to the brown people? Is that why you chose to be a police officer? You need to start with the person in the mirror. Okay, well, I'm getting ready to start making some phone calls. I want to find out what happened, you know, and I'm going to start. I got the call. I still need to find out. I ain't done with that. I'm going to find out who put Khalif Browder in Rikers Island and left him in there. Who did that? You know, somebody did. over a backpack that wasn't even his, that he didn't even had nothing to do with, didn't know nothing about. Put him in there for years. And by the time he got out, he ain't see nothing. His mama didn't see nothing. I mean, just tragic, just tragic. What's constantly happening in our community with these police officers. I will tell you one thing. It's bad apples. It's bad apples. And they've been there for a long time. Just like the Browns. You know, it's a family tradition. You know, and it's been going on for years. Oh, years. They were judges, police officers. The KKK was the judicial system. You know, why do you think when we got in there, you know, and I mean, we didn't even, most time didn't even make it to trial. You know, they came there, the mob just came in there and just hung people, just killed people. You know, and there it is. There it went. Mobs just went in and just started grabbing folks, just whether they were convicted, a lot of people were innocent, you know, hadn't done anything. Somebody just said they did it, you know, and it's been an attack on us ever since they brought slaves, began to bring people, you know, into slavery. It's been an attack on us ever since then. You know, it's just the lynchings have evolved with the times. That's what it is. The lynchings have evolved with the times. See, they don't take them and run in there and get them out the jail. They don't string them up anymore like that. You know, they do, but, you know, it's different now. The lynchings have evolved with the times. Ask Derek Chauvin. He knows the lynchings have evolved with the times. We got bad police officers. Richmond County, you can't sit there and lie. You have bad police officers, and you need to do something about it. These police officers who killed this young man, they know who they are. They got to look at themselves every day in the mirror. One day, you're going to face judgment. You know, even if you don't face it here, you're going to face judgment of your actions and what you have done and what you are doing here on this earth. You're not getting away with anything. God sees all. God is sitting high and looking low. And God sees all that's going to and fro. God sees all the evil around us, all the oppression that is around us, all the evil and oppression right amongst us. It comes in all different colors. People can allow evil to use them or allow God to use them. Allow God to use you, you know, and make the world better around you. Make the world better for all of us. You know, that young man, same age as my son. That could have been my child. That could have been anybody's child. We need to make change. You know, when my grandbaby looks at me, my kids look at me, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? We're going to grow. When your kids ask you, what are we going to do? We're going to grow. We're going to grow for change. We're going to grow for tomorrow today. You know, they know, mine know, I'm working for them for a better tomorrow today. I'm working to make the world a better place before I leave here. You know, so when I go and face judgment, I can tell the Lord what I did. You know, Lord, I did what you asked me to. I growed and I sowed. And I grew and I sowed some more. You know, I'm going to do it every day, every single day of my life. I'm growing for a better way for you, for me, for them, for tomorrow, today, right now, for a better way. We got the faith, the trust and belief in God. We coming up. As the glory continues to come, it will be ours. And the glory is coming, honey. The glory continues to come. We just got to continue to grow, continue to trust, continue to believe, and know, you know, that God is moving. God is moving over this earth just as the evil is. People are allowing evil to use them. And we got to stop allowing. You got two forces. You know, you either going to serve God or you're going to serve evil. Serve God. Everything that follows, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all things shall be added unto you. Guess what? When you go over here and seek evil, guess what's going to follow? Some more evil. So, get off of that bandwagon. Come over here. Come over here and start serving the Lord. Serve good. Be a servant of righteousness. Turn around and serve the Lord. Turn around and give God your all. You're over here trying to fight this battle. Go over here and let God fight the battle. See, because the battle ain't even yours. It belongs to the Lord. We're going to rise, people. We're going to rise and we're going to grow over the oppression and the evil all around us. Because I'm going to tell you, when I was in that house, when I was in that haunted house, I used to be so terrified. When I lived in haunted houses before I met Brian, I used to leave. I didn't sit up in there. But with him, I had to sit up in there. Because if I wasn't there, I was out doing something. But I was terrified. I was scared. So God, I'm telling you, unbeknownst to me, honey, God was with me in that house. God spoke to me. God sent heavenly spirits that guided me and spoke to me. And, I was telling you about the stars as I'm looking, in the sky, going into Georgia. When I got about into Kentucky, when I look up in the sky, it's just a great big cluster of stars. They're just right there, like over the car, just falling. Every time I looked up, great big cluster of stars. I took a couple pictures, but you can't take pictures of stars. You have to have a certain kind of camera. So I'm looking up. Every time I look up, I see these stars all the way into Georgia. Coming out of Georgia, we had to leave at night again. I'm down there at the consul's office. I was down there all day long. And I really wanted to leave and do some different things. I wanted to see why I'm leaving. I never got to see it going in and coming out, not this time. But anyway, but the stars, God sent heavenly, I'm telling you, God sent heavenly spirits that guided me in and guided me out, that were with me, honey. Every time I looked up, the stars were there. I pulled over and looked at them. It's heavenly spirits that are around us, that are guiding us. But see, what we doing us. So we got to stop doing us and allow God to come in and do some work. Allow God to take over. Stop fighting fire with fire. We got to go about it a different way. We can't be down there marching and protesting. We got to make change another way. We got to show out another way. That's what they expect you to do. And then here come the evil marching with you. Here come the Kyle Rittenhouses, 17-year-old with an AK-47. What is 17-year-old supposed to have an AK-47 for anyway? I thought you had to be 21 to have a gun, but you got a 17-year-old on trial and 17 years old, killed 3 people, failed by oppression. He decided to go down there with a rifle, and they down there protesting, police brutality. At the same time, the judge said he don't want them referred to as victims. They were victims. They were victims of gun violence by a 17-year-old who shot them. So they are victims. They weren't looters and rioters. They weren't down there riding and looting. They were down there protesting. But he just decided he wanted to shoot 3 people. A 17-year-old, somebody gave him a gun and somebody drove him over there. His mother. Greatness reached over oppression through wisdom. Change starts with us. See, now this mother, her son's on trial. Okay, where your accountability at? He's 17 years old. It's time to be an account for each other. Okay, we're gonna start with the mother. He's 17 years old. Okay. You drove your 17-year-old to the scene of where they out there protesting. You dropped him off with an AK-47. You dropped your son off. Let's look at the mother. Okay, he's 17. Just like the police, just like the judge released the woman who stole Nancy Pelosi's computer and said he gonna release her to the custody of her mother. So okay, he's supposed to be in your custody. He's 17. You are an account for him. You're accountable for him. So, you need to turn around and look at the mother who gave him the rifle and who dropped him off down there. Told him it was okay. Go get some vigilante justice. It must have been okay. You dropped him off with an AK-47. So see, that's what I'm saying. In Richmond County, you are accountable for your police officers who did this to this young man. You, the whole police office, the whole police department, everybody down there. You know, it starts from the top to the bottom and the bottom to the top. We got to start going in and rooting out these bad cops, these bad judicial officers, these bad judges, these bad doctors, these bad everything. It's good and bad everywhere. Honey, I'm not finna sit up and let them be experimenting on me with all these different medicines. If I do that, I'll be letting the doctor try all kind of medicine on me, see if it worked for my back. I'm not gonna do that. I can't be the guinea pig. I got some other stuff I got to do right now. I can't be the guinea pig right now, you know. So we can't do all of that, doc. Cause see, by the time, yeah, you working on the back, you helping the back. It helps the back, yeah, it does. But see, some other stuff getting messed up. You know, these medicines have side effects. You got to think about these side effects. And so what do you want to do? You know, write the medicine prescription out for me, see what it do. And so I can report back to him. He can report back to the people who make the drugs. Well, they got these kind of side effects. They got this and that and the other. So you're supposed to know all of that. And so I decide the side effects are not worth, the risk. They ain't worth it for me. So I can't be taking all them different medicines, all the different stuff. You know, it just don't work. It don't work mixing it all together and seeing what the outcome is, because the outcome is going to be bad for me. Greatness reached over oppression through wisdom. See there? That's how you do it. Greatness reached over oppression through wisdom. Just say that every day. Every time somebody say something crazy to you, greatness reached over oppression through wisdom. Turn around for another way. And let them sit there and look crazy. I love you, kings and queens. Let's rise. I'm telling you, no matter what, the oppression that's around us, honey, we're going to keep on trudging forward. We're going to keep on growing in God. We're going to keep on rising. You got the side. We're going to take the rain that came and we're going to grow. I love you. Keep growing. Keep rising.